Spirits, was that you that I saw a second ago? If it was, can you let me know?
Behind.
Wait, it went off?
This one went off.
Thank you, Spirits, if that was you.
Did you hear that?
There are Matthew, pause. There are two people here. Matthew, there's something on the wall right here to your right.
Welcome back to another ghost hunting video. This is part 2 of the Peteetneet investigation. If you haven't checked out part 1, I recommend you do so. We pick up this investigation after the dance studio. We are now in the basement museum section of the building. We decide to get a base for what type of activity is down here, so we set out the motion-activated traps as well as the Phasmabox. The Phasmabox is a program that spirits can manipulate to generate answers. The device is not connected to the internet, nor is it picking up our voices from the microphones.
Spirits, are you here with us? You don't seem to be communicating much down here. Okay, Spirits, we know you're here. All you need to do is speak into this device, and it will pick you up, it will hear you, I promise.
I was sitting. Spirits, are we currently sitting where you were sitting? Would you like us to move? No. I heard move. Move?
Yep.
Yes.
That's a yes.
Okay, where would you like us to move to, Spirits?
We're here to get to know you a little. If you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, could you tell us some of your names? A girl?
We have another way of you to communicate with us. We have these little balls. If you touch them, they'll also light up, and they'll let us know that you're here with us.
Show me? Or show me.
Did you put that one just down? Look.
Oh,
Yep,
Thanks, Connor.
that is how you do it. You push on it, and it'll light up.
Thank you for touching it.
there are plenty hidden around the room.
It lets us know you're here.
While I was searching in my bag for my EMF detector, we get this interesting response from the Phasmabox.
Were you a cowboy?
Yes.
I heard yeah.
Did they say yes?
Yeah.
It was a cowboy. Where's the most cowboy thing in this place, you think?
Saddle.
The saddle? All right, there is a cowboy right here, Spirits. I'm gonna put something on it. I have put a little device on this little cowboy guy over here. If you are here with us, that is something you can touch.
I hear something over there. In here?
Whoa. Spirits, thank you.
Is there something here that you like that makes you want to gravitate?
Cowboys. Those are
Literal cowboys.
Not only did the cat toy light up on the cowboy objects, but the Phasmabox also claimed that the spirits were cowboys.
They're leading us somewhere.
Know the people in those pictures?
So we instead moved the EMF detector to this area.
Okay, Spirits, we're gonna back away from you now.
Yeah. Spirits, do you miss the people in those pictures?
Who are they to you?
And as we're asking questions, this happens.
I have plans.
Spirits, what's over here that you want to show us?
What's in that case right next to it?
It's going off. A lot.
Do you miss the artifacts in that case?
We do our best to debunk this being a false reading by placing multiple motion-activated toys in the same area.
We now have 4 balls surrounding the case. Could you touch the one that you would like us to look at? Okay, so it is still that one. Thank you so much.
We also try swapping the active ball with another.
Spirits, you've been doing a really good job talking to us. We moved some balls around. Would you mind touching the one we just moved to let us know you're here? Sure?
You sure?
The ball never lights up again.
Spirits, did you not like it when I moved the balls? I see a name on here, under the name Lee. Is that why you want us to be right here? There's also a name of Bill Lewis.
So anyways.
Okay, this is getting boring.
Did you want us to move on?
I guess the spirits got bored with our line of questioning. So instead, we try another method. We set up our good friend Will with some headphones inside the smaller room in this exhibit. He will not be able to hear our questions and will simply repeat what he hears on the Phasmabox. This is known as the Estes Method. I also make sure to place an EVP device next to Will inside the room. This device specifically captures audios that we may or may not be able to hear with our own ears. Immediately after we got everything settled, we started asking simple questions.
Spirits, can you say the name of someone in this room?
My name is Matthew. Could you repeat my name back to me, please?
Spirits. There are a lot of names in this room. Is one of them yours?
Then, miraculously, we captured this sound from the EVP device.
Spirits. We have spirits.
Note that it is Matthew that is saying spirits, but what this sounds like to me is howling.
Spirits.
But the device is near the center of this tiny room, and there are no windows in there. As well, my camera is not far from the doorway of the room, and I don't capture the sound with that microphone. We also did not hear this with our own ears. I'll leave this inconclusive for now, but maybe you all can figure out what this sound is for me in the comments.
Spirits, can you tell us about your favorite food?
Yes.
I do also want to point out that the recorder was picking up sounds from the Phasmabox in the headphones. This is what that sounds like. I don't believe it sounds remotely close to the howl from earlier.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for in this room?
Box?
A box?
No.
No, not a box.
Spirits, what year are you from?
Spirits. Do you know what
Yes.
the current... Oh, okay. Do you know what year specifically? Or do you know what year it currently is?
I'm in it?
I'm in it.
Spirits, what are you in currently? Are you in the room where our friend Will and Sarah is?
Are there any spirits in here?
Yes.
Okay, so there's spirits in here.
The responses from the Phasmabox began to slow down, so instead we tried and get a reaction from the spirits by walking around the room and having them tell us when to stop.
I'm gonna keep walking around. Please do the same. Let us know where to stop, Spirit. If you see something, let us know. You said earlier a box. Which box? There's plenty of boxes here.
Spirits, have you lost something?
Yes.
Yes. What did you lose?
Maybe.
Maybe what? Shoot, battery's dying.
In the process, my camera's battery began to die. Upon changing the battery, we get this interesting response from Will.
Whatever you just did, they didn't like that.
Really? What do they do?
They just got noisy.
All I did was change the battery on my thing.
Is there a picture
Yes.
of you? in
Something
this room?
82?
With the response of 82, we begin to look around the room for anything with a matching date.
Find a 1982.
Find a year.
1903.
1980, 78, 80,
What year again, Spirits?
Wait.
Can you let us know?
82.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna look in here. Keep going. Keep going.
It's not.
It's not?
Oh, so it's not in here? Thank you, Spirits.
While we were unable to find anything, the activity began to pick up again.
Sad news.
Sad news.
Is there sad news
It's
anywhere?
sad news.
You heard sad news?
Okay, that went off without me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you back, Spirits? Are you back with us?
Spirits, you leave and now you're back.
Yeah.
All right, Spirits. We're gonna try something different here in a second. Do you have anything you want to let us know?
No.
All right, then we're done. Thank you, Spirits.
It was unfortunately short-lived, as the spirits didn't want to speak to us anymore. Next, we check out the dress room across the hall. Off camera, we use the dowsing rods to determine some information about the spirits that may be here.
Matthew, what have you got so far?
So we've concluded that we have a boy in this room. You can show us again one more time that you're a boy. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've concluded that this boy is afraid of the dark.
And it's going all over the place.
Also concluded that we are not alone with this spirit, and there is another spirit with him. That
Are
is
you
not
afraid
friendly.
of the other spirit?
Yes. Spirit, are there any pictures in here that are of you?
That's a hard yes.
Okay.
Pointing in the direction of your picture. How many pictures are in
It's
here?
going forward. It's right here.
Spirit,
Is that the mother?
do you know this person?
Could be the motherly figure.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm getting two.
Joanne Sudweeks.
Burnt orange?
Think
Is
I'm
it this burnt orange dress? I don't know
So it's this dress.
it. Is it the dress or is it the woman in the picture? Do no for the picture and yes for the dress. It's the picture.
So there's something with this picture.
Is that who wore it then? Joanne Sudweeks?
We don't spend too much time here, so we are unable to determine much. Later in the night, we moved to a bridal room on the second floor.
Do you know who Sarah is?
I do.
As a reminder, Sarah is a woman that apparently some children are afraid of. Could it be possible that we're speaking to the spirits we saw in the dance studio?
Who is Sarah? It's a man. We heard stories that you're afraid of a woman named Sarah.
Is Sarah in this room?
Moms.
Is Sarah a mom?
Does Sarah live in this house?
Spirits, just to confirm that you're speaking to us.
Chair?
Chair?
After a bit of chatter, we were unsure if we were getting any intelligent responses, so I try and ask a direct question.
Spirits, just to confirm you're speaking with us, how many of us are in this room? Count with me. There's 1. Count with me, Spirit.
4.
I heard 4.
I heard 4.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Spirits.
After getting substantial enough evidence, I decide to pull out the SLS camera. The SLS camera is a structured light sensor. It will do a 3D depth map while also mapping any humanoid figures, whether they are human or not.
Just record what I'm doing.
Maybe he'll find out.
I am gonna find that, Spirits, but earlier you said chair, right?
Are you sitting right next to me?
You said chair earlier.
Are you sitting on a chair?
After I point the SLS camera onto Krista on the couch, I captured this.
It's an orb.
Incredibly, an unexplained mass appears above her head, slows down, then moves away. There's no way this could have been a bug or dust, as its movement is too deliberate.
Manifest here. Oh, there is something around you.
It also happens again for a split second as I tell it to manifest.
Are you around me right now? I think I get chills.
Happens to them?
Yeah, that's what happens to us when you show yourself. We can feel you.
Now, this next part, I can't say for sure what the SLS camera was mapping.
Announce yourself. I'm Melanie.
I'm Danny.
I'm Krista.
Matthew.
I don't know what it's doing here. Krista, this thing looks like it's towering over you right now. It's like it's trying to hug you and it's giant.
Hello. Are you standing right next to me right now?
What in the world?
Do you want Krista to move?
Would you like me to move?
Krista, do me a favor. Just stand up and walk over here to Mel. Okay, go back into the shot.
I'm going to sit back down now.
Okay, now it's just mapping you. That was kind of weird. I can't say what that was, but it was like a big old...
I can't undoubtedly say it's conclusive, but after Krista comes back into the shot, the camera maps her, unlike it was before.
Alright, Spirits, we have a few more seconds in here, minutes, whatever. It's doing it to you now, Mel. There's a giant thing in that corner, like a spider.
Now, I may have been getting some false positives, but the camera starts to map multiple figures and begins to go a bit haywire.
It's by the backpack? It said it's by the backpack earlier.
Can you show yourself with the backpack again, Spirits?
This backpack right here.
People's habits.
Do you not get out much?
You get out? I do get out.
Okay, it's got you now, Matthew.
Spirit.
I'm a bit shocked that I see the same orb move out from behind Matthew and fly away. Again, I don't believe this is a bug, nor any dust considering its deliberate movement. After we had these amazing interactions, it was time to move on to the top floor. We try a few different tactics to get the spirits to interact with us, and for whatever reason, we all feel a bit uneasy up here.
Spirits, my name is Danny. We want you to tell us which room to go to. And the only way we're going to figure that out is if you reach out and touch one of our hands. Spirits, please make your presence known in any way that you can.
Yeah, I can.
You feel something on your hand?
On my right hand specifically, yeah.
Spirits, that you interacted with Matthew?
Are you grabbing my wrist? It's like you're putting something on my hand.
I feel something on my right hand. It's like pushing it up slightly.
Really? Okay.
I'm
Spirits,
pushing it
tonight?
up and down slightly.
Yeah. Spirits, we're going to go to the doors. We're going to back into them. Spirits, we have our backs to these doors.
Oh, dude.
I'm not okay with this.
I feel a lot going on right now.
Do you?
You want to take that room, Matthew?
After we get a sense to go into both rooms on the left, we do some more investigating there. The first room proves to not have much, so we instead move to the other room. I use the SLS camera for one last go around of this room. I'm going to show you the events just as they happened.
Matthew, they seem to like you. Stand right there. Stand like right here in the middle of the room. I'm going to point this right at you. I want you to reach out your left hand. Spirits, we don't have a lot of time left here with you. We appreciate you being here with us. We would like to see if you are here with us. And to do so, please reach out and touch my friend Matthew's hand. If you do, I'll be able to see it. Or you can show yourself in another way.
I have 2 hands.
He has 2 hands, and he is willing to let you use his energy. Okay, there's somebody on the floor. 100%. You see that?
On my left side?
On this side, in front of the case. What in the world? It's on the case now. Spirits, is that you in this room with us? I don't know what to make of that. Because we got Matthew mapped, and that one just showed up out of nowhere.
I'm not getting anything on this.
I believe you.
This moment was pretty interesting, as the SLS camera simultaneously maps something on the floor while remapping Matthew separately. Then, we see an orb fly right above Matthew. Now, for this next section, I'm going to conclude that the figure above me was a false mapping. But what I was experiencing was something strong.
No. Okay, we're gonna trade. You're gonna take this, and you're gonna point it at me. Alright, spirits, my name's Danny, and I'm standing here in the communications room. I'm not sure what happened here.
Oh, there's something above you.
This?
Directly above you. There's something, yeah, it's like a figure.
Spirit, is that you above me? You're welcome to
Okay.
use my energy to manifest, which I believe you
Yeah,
are.
it's just up there.
Spirit, is that you above me? If it is, can you make a noise?
Oh, orb.
Really? Spirit, is that you leaving the room?
There it goes again.
These orbs that you see fly around me are potentially the spirits that were in the room affecting me.
Shot in the dark here. Are you the spirit that followed me from the old St. James? Spirit, are you the one that's been following me since May 14th of this year? If that is you, and you mean well, which I think you do, you're welcome to reach out and touch my hand. Or you're welcome to activate the little ball behind me. There's a reason I don't point devices at me, because I know you're always there. Trying to cry. Why am I crying? Why? Oh god, it's really affecting me right now.
Do you want to stop?
No, we go.
Okay.
It's difficult to describe the feeling here, but what I am referring to is a previous investigation at that location. I experienced a traumatic energy that affected me so greatly that I had to leave the premises crying.
For whatever reason, these spirits have affected me so much to the point where it brings me to tears.
I still believe to this day that I formed an attachment from something in that location which has followed me for months. Whether or not the emotion here was from that spirit or another spirit giving me that similar emotion, I can't say. But what I can say is that these feelings were genuine to me, and I would never try and falsify anything. Ultimately, the Peteetneet school was an incredible location with an incredible amount of evidence. I can say that whatever is here is something that is not malicious but rather curious. From the children we saw in the dance studio to the spirits that were talkative and silly with us.
So anyways,
I get a feeling that whatever spirits haunt this area are happy and excited to have visitors. And with that, another one is in the books. And I look forward to continuing this series as I have many other investigations planned. So, stay tuned, and thank you all for watching. Have a good night.